Okay, so what we're doing at the moment is I'm making the main street of what will be the city for the Hunger Games map I'm making. So I'm not sure how long it's gonna be yet, but I'm just doing it I'm just getting an idea. So this is just the beginning. As you can see, I'm doing it all by hand, and I just wanted to show you that bit. I've got to remember how I did it now. 3, 3, 2, 3. Right. Okay. Okay. Yep. Just double check for that. Okay. I won't bore you with the rest of it. Okay. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to do the central lines first, to make sure I've got it exactly as I want it, and it makes it easier for when I'm doing the outside parts, so I don't make a mess. I know it might not make sense at the moment, but that's the reason why I'm doing it like this. See, already I'm kind of losing the idea of which thing I'm sorry. It's not easy as well when you're talking. Obviously I'm not blaming you guys because I'm talking to you, but I'm just saying sometimes you lose a bit of concentration. Everything in this game is about symmetry for me. I don't know how you guys build and how you play your maps and what have you, but everything for me has to be completely perfect symmetry. Just to give you a rundown of exactly what we're going to be doing. I'll make shortcut videos like this. There's going to be quite a lot. It's going to be a fairly long series, as I would have thought. It's going to be cut into about at least, in fact I wouldn't even like to guess, because I'm not sure exactly the scope of the actual build that I'm doing. So the quick idea is I'm going to build a central street, like a main street, or something like it, say if you're in Manchester, it'd be say Deansgate, like a big central street that runs straight through the centre, and then we're going to build from the sides of it. So from the sides, so if you imagine this is the main street here, so it'll probably go a bit longer than this, and then everywhere from the left and right we will build buildings, and they'll be on variety of scales. We'll have next to the main street, you'll have the shops and the business districts and what have you, right next to the actual places here. And then as you move further away from Main Street, you'll get into the smaller buildings, like things like your bars, restaurants. There might be an odd skyscraper here and there, but what I'll do as well is the streets won't be like this. So they're not going to be like a big wide street like this. What they're going to be is, let's give an idea, because the idea will be they will most likely be things like this. Ignore that, it's just a mess up with the graphics because I've changed something on my computer. Yeah, so the side streets will be more like that rather than actually big fat streets like that, because if you do big fat streets like that, then the streets tend to take over all the space. But you get the idea, and then we can do little side streets. Oops. Like that, with buildings in between. So little alleyways, but these would be side main streets. I hope that makes sense. Let me just bring this one over here. So I've got really bad hiccups at the moment. I'm really trying my hardest not to hiccup on camera. Right. So ignore the glitch there on the thing, but you get the idea. So we can have proper street facts. I'll do. Such a perfectionist. If I'm going to show you, might as well show you properly. I'll just fill this a little bit in. This will do me head in actually when I'm filling the rest of it in, but it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Let's just fill this so it all fills that bit. So we get the idea of how it's going to look, sort of. So yeah, so the side street's going off, so you can run down the main street. I think what I'll probably end up doing as well is, rather than having just going, it looks pretty crap, there will be a pavement, or as you would call it in America, a sidewalk. I wish that needs changing. That, do you know when you're placing down slabs and you put two on top, you break one and then both have to break? Why can't you just break one? God, come on, Jeb, get your shit wired. But you get the idea. So I'll hold out all the way down the side of Main Street will be this. So it'll be a pavement or sidewalk, depending on your vocabulary. But the side streets won't have these. They'll just you know, it'd be too much dick. In fact, let's have a look, see what it look like. Because at least I can keep, because the idea is I'll keep the buildings within the pavements. And obviously I wouldn't do it for a little side street like that. So I'm just testing it whilst I've got you on, whilst you're watching. Hopefully I might have not gone too far whilst I'm doing this, and you might be able to give me some ideas. Everything can still be changed anyway. Actually I don't mind that. So there'll be double pavement on the main street, as we can see, with buildings. Buildings will fill these areas, these grassy areas, as you can see. I know it's fairly obvious, but I'm just explaining it. These would be the side, not so main streets, but buildings would still come off them, so I could still put building here. So it could be another building running this way. You get the idea. With steps going into a building there. So if I went stone stairs, they'll do. And so one like that, you know, you get the idea. You could do a building there. I'm really trying to think in my head now if it's gonna work. Yeah, because this could be a building. Oh, I'd sink this brick into the ground. Actually, I wouldn't do it this way. In fact, I would definitely sink it into the ground. But no, you'd build it. You'd have to build it up anyway. That's what we're talking about. It doesn't really matter. I'm not going to build a foundation for a building that I'm not even going to be building in real life. So let's see if this kind of looks okay. Yeah, so this would be. So if you went down an alley, there'd be no side streets. Sorry, no pavements. I'd probably just. I don't know actually. I'll have to think about that. I don't really want the buildings pushed. In fact, no, because I don't mind the buildings being pushed right up. But they might like. So what I could do. So I'm just bouncing off ideas with you guys, even though I'm just talking to myself. So say we had a long side street here, and maybe it could, I'd even consider doing things like this, and making them a bit twisting and turning, which could be a pain in the ass actually. But oh no, actually that won't work. It's so limited with squares. So yeah, I'd have to do twists and turns and on a 90-degree angle, unfortunately. What I was thinking is, yeah, so I mean that'd work for a building just off the pavement. So carry on putting the pavement there. The building would be there. I'd carry on the main. God. So carry up this bit here. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I didn't mean to do that either. I'll regret it later if I don't do that. Right, okay. Yeah. I think that'll work actually. So yeah, so the main side streets, as it were, would go like this, but you'd still have a one level pavement on the side, which could still lead into buildings. Hello. The main road will have two pavements, two sidewalks, or two stone slabs as sidewalk. But then we'll have interconnected with these. We might have these little streets that you can run down where the buildings are really close and it's a bit confined. So if we're playing like Hunger Games or something like that, you'll literally, if you run into somebody, you either fight it out or you both run off in the same direction. I mean, the idea is I'm going to make this extremely oh no, I needed that. I'm going to make this extremely complicated. Literally a maze of buildings and side streets and just everything else you can imagine. But this is the beginning anyway. That's the general idea of how I'm going to lay it out. So I'm going to carry on building off camera, just the main road, and then I'll catch up with you once I've done the main road and the pavements. Okay. Okay, so finish Main Street. As much as I want to do at the moment anyway. So we've got the pavements down the side, and we've got the main road done. So beg your pardon. So as you're on the game here, you'll run down the pavement, jump across the road. You might see somebody down in the distance. As it stands, I'm not sure if this is long enough. I really couldn't tell you. It's probably not, to be fair. I might even make this the width and make it about the same again each side long. So say it's about there, and then over there in the distance long. So it'll be a huge city sprawl. But I'm just going to play with it and see how it goes. I don't want it to get too big, because if it gets too big then it becomes unmanageable. Well, that's what I don't suppose unmanageable, but it becomes difficult to transfer around, and if I play it on the Tux 2 Minecraft server, which I do play on, obviously, it would take a lot to actually claim it, and yeah, anyway, the logistics might be a bit impossible, but we'll see. We could always open this as another map on one of my servers or something and we'll play it on there. Right, so next thing I want to do is I want to plan out some side roads. So I've got one here anyway. I'm just going to keep that one. It's not going to stay the way it is. The building is definitely not going to stay there. And I think the first thing we'll do is, well, I'm going to fill these in to start with. I think I'm going to build the first building. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly map it out now. I don't want to use this. I don't want to use stone brick. I could use brick. Yeah, you know what I mean. Chisel stone brick. Mossy stone bricks. No, stone bricks. I could use stone brick. So if we look what these look like together. Ugh, not sure about that. I mean, that one's obviously better, but I can make a building out of that, I suppose, actually. So I was going to make my first skyscraper. So I mapped all the bottom areas. How big would I want it? It's going to be a big building. I actually don't want it to be too big, because the idea is as well is when you're building something of this scale. Because I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos. I've made like shuttles, like space shuttles. I made a big cathedral. I've done quite a few little bits and bobs. You get these grandiose ideas to start with. Oh, I'll make it this big and I'll make it huge and massive. But then you don't appreciate how much work's going to go into it. Because if I want to make a skyscraper here right now, what's going to happen is I'm going to have to build every single floor and make the floor unique. So that just means, say this is going to be, see if I make this a, I mean, try to think of how high I could make it. See if I made that 20 stories, so I'd have 20 floors. No, you couldn't do that. But say 10 floors. Even 10 floors in Minecraft is big. Don't forget, every floor. So that's your floor down there. That's your first floor. Sorry. Just do this example. This is not how it's going to be built. That's how much you need for every floor, at least. You need to have that much headroom. You need to be able to jump, donk, or it doesn't work, and windows won't work properly and stuff. So if you imagine doing that, like I say, it's probably going to be 10 times actually, because I'm not going to be able to. Oh, I've dropped my bloody thing again. Yeah, here we go. So we're looking at. Do it that way. It's easy to see. Ooh, that's gonna fill up the sky pretty quick. Oh god, shitty keyboard. Need a new keyboard. So I've got to plan in the fact that as well, every floor of that has got to be. I don't even think 10 floors is gonna be viable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, well, I might get up to 10 actually. I think 10, but I won't be making many skyscrapers if that's the case. If it's going to be that big. But then you've got to think how wide is it going to be. So if I made it, how was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. That'll do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So building that wide and 10 high. God, this is going to be big. Yeah, definitely won't be making many of these. Is that 3 and 3? No, that's 3 and yeah. Sorry again, I've still got hiccups. I can't get rid of hiccups. I do apologise if my voice sounds a bit husky. I've not been well over the last few days, which means nothing to you guys, but okay, so that would kind of work. Could probably work with that. So what I'll probably end up doing is building the frames of all the buildings that I want to do. In fact, no, because what I was thinking is I'll build the frames of all the buildings, and then I'll just build them all. Literally, I'll try and build a city's worth of framed buildings, and then, in fact, no, I could do that actually. No, the original thought was I was going to build the outside of all the buildings, so I'd build all the outer cases of all the buildings. But then, if you forget a building, because I'm going to make it that busy, this city, sorry, it's going to be that kind of full. If I ever leave a building and you're just going to walk into a door and it's just going to be a empty thing with no floors. So what I might do is I might do it like this. Do each building, plan it out how wide and how long the building is going to be. So this will be a square, I would think. How much did I do? Did I do 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, yeah. So 1 under the stone, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 1 too many. Is that right? That doesn't seem right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, it is. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then do our usual floor. 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth one is the floor, and that should marry up to the top here. And I think now we've got the basic dimension now really of the building, because then you put doorway with there at some parts. I probably wouldn't have a shitty stone step like that. I'd probably actually I could just do that really. Just put the doorway be 1 step back. Oh, actually no, that won't work. It'd have to be a step, wouldn't it? No, it can't be. The step would have to be here. Yeah, I'd have to do it that way really, because I don't want the buildings to have like a rim around it. Yeah, so if I did every building like this, put the doorways in the sides that I want them in. So obviously we want doorway back there and what doorway here. I wanted to do this on Tekkit as well. I really did want to do it on Tekkit. I think that's a good idea actually doing it this way, because once you're running down the road you can actually see where all the doorways are. You can go, ooh, and run inside. Obviously there'll be a door there, so you won't just literally run inside. But so yeah, I mean, if I squared every building out like that first, oh, god damn it, me and my pissing Q key. I'll give myself an idea then. So let's just finish this off. I think I've just put that up. Obviously there won't be an entrance on every side of the building. That'd be ridiculous. Well, not be ridiculous, but it'd just be, there's going to be buildings on this side as well. But that's the idea actually. So if I built another building here, so if I built 2 skyscrapers next to each other, in fact let's just test this. So put the groundwork in, and then here we can have what we were discussing before, this little sidewalk thing. A little sidewalk thing, just like a little back alley sort of thing. Don't know what you'd call it in your country. In England we'd call it a back alley, or a side entrance, or something like that. But you get the ideas. Anyway, so this is generally, I think this is what I'm going to stick with. I think. I'm not going to make this one as big. This one's going to be quite a thin building. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because obviously I don't want all the buildings to be completely generic, because it just becomes stupid. It's like, but you've also I just remembered it actually. You've also got to make them big enough to fit stairs in, and the doors don't need to be completely leveled up, so it can be a bit off centre, I suppose. But you've got to put stairs in so your people can get upstairs. So you need to make them big enough to incorporate a staircase of some kind. So I'll make this a long but thin building. Do I want to do that actually? No, I don't. It's going to be a bit squarer. Because then what we can do is the other way here, and there'd be another building that starts here. And then we can knock out this. Oh, sorry. I'm not apologising to anybody in particular. And we can do that. And these are running between the buildings. Obviously these are going to be filled in with glass windows and sky high. You can run to the main road, look left and right to see if anybody's there. I might even make back entrances to some of these buildings, secret back entrances. The other thing I was thinking before as well, which I've not mentioned up to now, I was thinking about it is actually when I was putting the floor down. I might make a sort of underground. I don't know if that means anything to you guys. The underground in England is a place in London where it's like the subway, so you've got trains, we call it the tube. So what I might do is do some sort of underground tunnel system where you can find secret entrances and go into the underground and make it like quick zip lines to different places in the city. So I might incorporate that into there as well. Let's have a look at size wise. Yeah, so you get the idea. So we can have some, I mean that building's going to be yay big. It's going to be up here. It's going to be about yay high. And from these vantage points, I mean I'll put like helicopter pad things on the top. But they're also good for sniping or just for looking around. We probably won't be able to snipe somebody from this height, but you could have a look around and see if you can see any name tags running around. If you're on far, I'm usually on far. But that's it for this part. What I'm gonna do in this part now is I'm gonna just knock out a few buildings, knock out a few shapes of buildings, and then I'll come back to you. The reason why I'm cutting them up into little sections like this is because I do spend a lot of time thinking, and I think that'd be really boring for you to watch, for me going like that. See what I am? You'd be really bored, because I do get lost in trains of thought sometimes. So what I'll do is I'll cut this one off here. And then I'm going to crack on and just make a few buildings on this side. I'm not going to touch that side yet. I'll do a few on this side, make a bit of a maze of buildings, see how it comes out, and then I'll join you back when I've done that. Just to show you how everything is trial and error, what I've decided to do is I was going to make another side road off here, a main street road that goes off in the distance there. I'm not going to do that. I think that's going to be the only other one. I just wanted to add another one. But you start it off, you think, oh well, I'll tell you what, I'll marry it up to the next to this building. So I started making the pavement here that you could run around the building. I started filling it all in, and then do you know what? When you start filling it all in, it doesn't marry up to the centre there. It looks a bit odd, and this is what happens quite a lot. If you don't think about what you're actually building, it can come back to bite you in the arse a little bit. So, say if I filled all this back in now, what I've had to do is move it over one step, two steps. So this white line is in the centre of that white line, because obviously there's only two black, so you can't be in the centre of there. But I didn't think of it at the time. It's just a bizarre thing that you have to do when you're doing these big builds. If you're crazy like me and you want everything to be completely, you know, symmetrical and everything looks good. I mean, the thing is, when people are playing this, they're not actually going to see it from the sky. Well, they might see it a little bit, but this place is going to be such a busy place with buildings. You won't be able to get you won't be able to get a view like that of the floor. So nobody really noticed, but for me, I'd notice in the sense of I'd know it was there. I'd know that's the problem. But then that obviously brings up another issue. Just let me just fill these ones in, and I guess you can imagine what the other issue is. Is what do I do with this central space? Have I done that right? No, I haven't. So I need another space there. So obviously we said before that we can do side roads that are two stone blocks. Actually, no, can't do that. Bollocks. Can't do that, we can't do that, we can't do that. In fact, this isn't going to work at all. Because we've got one pavement here, and we'd have one pavement right over here. So how do we work this out? Do you know what I'd love to do? I'd love to do some sort of cycle lane, but I've really got no idea how you could do that. No idea at all. Oh, I've got one idea. Or have I? I was thinking an entrance to the subway. Ooh. Let's just have a quick look at doing something like that. Let's get rid of some of these. Okay. So if we did the road going that way, but on this side here we had a structure. It's not wide enough really, I don't think. We'll just do something in a sec. That little shit. I'm gonna have to work this out, aren't I? I could move. I might have to move the road. Okay, I'm gonna have to move the road. What I'll do is I can move it down a few blocks, then make a building in the centre here, and then have another road running off that way. Yeah, I'll have to do that. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to give you a quick heads up. When I'm breaking the videos up into sections, I'm literally doing bit by bit. I'm never gonna leave a huge section between the videos. I'm never gonna go like, ah, it's done, and then you didn't see how it was done. I'm gonna try and do step by step, but like I say, I don't really want to do a complete. Follow me whilst and listen to my babble whilst I'm waffling with myself. Oh, sorry, here as well. But did I do that? I didn't want to do that. Did I do that? I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Wrong block. Wrong block. This is going to be between buildings, walkways sort of thing. Anyway, so what I'll do is I'll move this road over. It'll have to be moved over to over here somewhere. In fact, I can move it over to. Do I want it really close to this end? There's quite a lot of room like that, isn't there? Which, in fact, how far are we central-ish? I'm probably best doing it on the left. I'll do it on the left. Okay, I'll quickly show you where I'm going to do it now. Do it on that one there. Target! So I'll knock these ones out, knock them ones out, knock them ones out. Just to do it so I know what I'm doing. Should we do black first? Yeah, we'll do black first. And we are 3 whites. Right, okay, so I know where the road's going to be now. So I can do this. Because at least I know now that I can at least get a building in here and have pavements on the sides without it interfering with the rest of the build. I just didn't think about it when I started it. I really wanted to do it, but then again I just didn't think about it. So this is how it's going to look now. Yeah, we'll do that. Because I've still got the option then of putting a building in between here and the pavement's not being affected. And that's going to be this little side entrances things, and this one's just a complete mess. I've ballsed it up. We'll just cover it. Only we will know the secret that is under there. I'll never be a town planner. Never be a town planner. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear up this mess, and I'm going to crack on with placing some of this, at least I'm going to put some squares down of the buildings, then we can look at it on high and see how the layout is starting to look. Okay, so again, there's never going to be a huge gap between the videos. I tried to break them up though, and the other reason why I do this as well is because it makes it easier for me when I'm editing the videos out to actually make them. One sad thing at the moment, and this is a truly sad thing for me, is my internet connection is down at the moment. Damn you. I won't say the name just in case I get in trouble. But yeah, there's been a problem. I won't get my internet back till Thursday now, they reckon. So I'm a bit gutted about that. so I won't be able to upload any videos. So I'm breaking them up into these parts as well, so I can actually organise them. But also Fraps, I don't know if you've ever used Fraps. It has a